Good evening, everyone, and welcome to This Week from Rockdale. And as usual, I am your host, Larry Cox, and I'm glad to have everyone join me tonight. I'm going to tell some people hello this evening. So let me see who we got on here. Cheryl Moulton, nice to see you here. Charlotte Gellert, nice to see you. Marie Withers, Tina Hobbs, and Doug Witham. Nice to have you guys on the show. Anybody else wants to say howdy in the chat? And we will be glad to say hello. Angela Espero, good evening. Dan Burks, good evening. William Campbell, good evening. A lot of the folks that have joined have said Happy Father's Day. Good evening, Donald Ferguson. Nice to have you on here. So it is Father's Day today. I still decided to do a little show. So glad to have each and every one of you decide to join me tonight for the show. And we'll talk about a few things tonight that are just going on in the community and things that are happening. And as usual, we'll bash a few entities that I love to bash because they're incompetent. And that's the way we roll here on This Week from Rockdale. So first, just also all the fathers on the show tonight, Happy Father's Day to all you guys. Hope you had a good day today, and fantastic week coming up. Just wish the best to each and every one of you. So first thing I'd like to talk about tonight, the city of Conyers has introduced their proposed budget, and it includes a 15% increase. No, Alex, I have not confirmed my Sherry stuff. We're still doing some investigating with that. So as I investigate this week, I hope to next Sunday talk about some stuff about the Post 1 Commissioner, Sherry Washington. So I wanted to take this week to do a little bit of digging on some stuff that I was informed about this week. I don't want to prematurely put anything out there because this is some pretty riveting information that could have an impact on some things that I just want to make sure we're clear with this information we got and make sure it's accurate. So we're going to do a little bit of investigating this week, make sure those things that we heard are 100% accurate. And then we're going to let you folks know about it next week. That's what the intention here is at This Week from Rockdale. So, yeah, you will want to tune back in for that. Shocker. So, Charlotte says that Newton County is only at 10%. So, what it's interesting, just talk about a few numbers here. And Alex, you may have saw some of this too, but the city of Conyers is proposing a 15% increase, which would be $3.2 million over last year's budget. So they are saying that they are going to get $1.7 million in additional tax from the Valorum taxes. So that'll go from 10.3 million to 12 million. So that's before they do any millage rate adjusting. So that's at leaving the millage rate as it is with the pretend housing values that we have increasing out here, that they're going to go from a $10.3 million collection to a $12 million collection before they even manipulate the millage rate. Now you got to look. If they do a $3.2 million increase, 1.7 of that is going to come naturally before they even raise the millage rate, then that leaves $1.5 million left. So, folks, you are in the city of Conyers, you are going to see a millage rate increase to cover that additional $1.5 million that they will need to raise. So you're looking at a $3.2 million increase in the budget. 1.7 of that will, is an increase in taxes due to the property values being raised, at the current mill, then they will have to raise the mill to get the additional 1.5. Now look, guys, all of this 3.2 is a total tax increase, because if your tax bill goes up 1 cent from last year, that is a tax increase. So, this game they play with the millage rate really irritates me beyond belief. But we are looking at the city of Conyers, you residents are looking for, you guys are looking at quite an increase. So, no, this is not just these guys. I mean, you're looking right behind this. You're going to have the Board of Education come. You're going to have the Board of Commission come. So Rockdale County residents, hold on to your seats, because you're going to get hammered. Well, I'm part of you. We are going to get hammered with property tax increases this year. We are going to get hammered this year, guys. So if the city has already started the trend with this 15%, the Board of Education and the Board of Commissioners soon to follow suit, and we are going to get bombarded with tax increases this coming year. So, guys, good luck to us as we navigate this crazy system. Alex is correct. I'm going to put this up here because he's 100% correct. They're going to be hurting when the home value is correct. They won't be able to raise taxes enough to maintain the current levels. I agree with you, Alex. They have spent themselves into oblivion, and they are not going to be able to keep up when this adjustment comes. Good evening, Daniel Munez. How are you doing tonight? So great to have you on the show. Hey guys, one thing I want to point out here. So today's Father's Day. I'm also a dog father, so I want to just point out my two pups that I got on the shirt. I've got Molly Lou here, my border collie, and then there's Tucker Cox, my Chiweenie. So Beth had got me this for my birthday and Father's Day. This is my little shirt with my two favorite children on it, Tucker and Molly. So just wanted to show off the shirt here to you guys, and so you can see it there tonight. But yeah, I found this very, and then also one of the reasons that the city gives for this increase is, now guys, hold on to your seats. The city of Conyers has implemented a minimum wage rate. They have a minimum wage rate for full-time employees now. The city of Conyers has a minimum wage rate of $17 an hour. Yep. The city of Conyers has implemented a minimum wage rate of $17 per hour. So, and the existing city council implemented this. Our friend Alex McDonald always says that these government entities are nothing more than a jobs program. This nothing more than proves that when you've got now the city of Conyers has implemented their own minimum wage, $17 an hour. So I found that fascinating. And, then they said that, they were looking at a 26 to 30% increase for healthcare benefits. But that $17 an hour minimum wage is very interesting. And that's upon all the other benefits that are received by these city employees. So, guys, it's no wonder that our tax burden continues to increase when these entities, the City of Conyers, Board of Education, and Board of Commission, continue to do nothing but run a jobs program. And, we, the citizens, we bear the cost of that jobs program through taxation. And it is going to be interesting when we do have a correction in the housing market and these false values are no longer there, and these entities aren't able to manipulate the tax system to be able to keep up those revenues. Then what do they do? What do they cut? What do they do? It'll be interesting to see, and observe and to know what they do intend to do, because the spending pace that they're on is not sustainable. The taxation is not sustainable. So at some point, something has to give. So there's my little story about the city of Conyers and that 15% increase. Now, do any of you guys out here have any comments about that you'd like to throw out here at this point? George Kelishek has just joined the show. Good evening, George. The taxpayer. Nice to have you, and also the Haynes Creek Watershed Foundation. Glad to have you. So, guys, to me, I look at this, I see this trend, I see what the city has already proposed, and I know that we're in deep water. We are in deep trouble, and that's no pun with the deep water. So we're expecting a bunch of rain this week, and George sent an email out already. It said North Georgia is expecting up to 5 inches of rain this week, possibly. So, guys, we've got Cheryl Moulton. I wonder if Doreen will be taxed out of her house. Now, Cheryl Moulton, you know the answer to that question, because Commissioner Williams doesn't pay taxes on her property. So we know she's not going to be taxed out of home ownership. Like most senior citizens in Rockdale County, unfortunately, have a possibility of being taxed out of home ownership because of what's going on with these taxes in Rockdale County. I like that, Cheryl. I like that little joke you threw out there. Good job. Keep it up. That's the kind of things we want to hear. So as we talk, I want to shift a little bit to Sherry Washington and the Post 1 commission seat. Not going to talk about some things about Sherry that I heard this week, because we're still investigating to try to see what's going on. But this is something else I've been hearing on the streets. We have 5 individuals that their names are circulating right now that are contemplating running against Sherry Washington. And I think somebody in this chat right now may be one of those individuals, and they want to put it out there. I'm okay with it, but this is what I hear. There are up to 5 individuals who don't hold the Post 1 seat in Rockdale County, that live in Rockdale County, that are contemplating running for that Post 1 commission seat. Then when you add Sherry Washington, that's the possibility of 6 individuals that would be seeking the Post 1 commission seat. I had predicted all along that I felt this Post 1 commission seat was going to be a hotly contested seat with many people vying for it, especially with the nonsense and the shenanigans that Post 1 Commissioner Sherry Washington has been involved in. And if the show gets to verify this additional information, it will even be more shenanigans that hopefully will put the nail in the coffin of Sherry Washington's political career in Rockdale County, which desperately needs to end. Not only does her career need to end, but Oz Nesbitt's career needs to end. He put a little post out there this week that said, that he was experienced and had the experience and the ability to do this job, and it wasn't time for an experiment. And he was referring to, Medissa Ahmad running for that seat. So that'd be quite interesting. Catherine Landon would be 5 Democrats, 5 additional Democrats. So he calls Medissa Ahmad an experiment. It's time to stay the path, stick with experience, and don't try and experiment. I love this when you get these established, entrenched politicians that'll say, stay the path, don't experiment. Now, we all do remember at one time, anybody who holds public office, they had to have their first time they held public office. Now, did they believe that when they were running for office, that you needed to stick to the path of the incumbency and trust the person that was in office because they held that office? No, the reason they were ran in the first place was because they felt the person in office had lost touch with the citizens and they were offering them something new. So don't you love how once someone gets in office, and trust me, folks, this is all about the chairman securing a retirement. I'd love to kick him to the curb with no retirement. That, nothing personal. It's really not personal. I just don't really care for his leadership style and what he's done to my county and my home. And, I'd like to just send him away. And the easiest way to do that is not vote for the character. Send Sherry Washington to the damn wayside too. Don't vote for that idiot. Get rid of her. Diane Collins, we have the right to run for office. 1,000%. People have the right to run for office, and these incumbents are just out there, well, you don't need to run. I was at the Parker Road one time a few years ago, and there was an incumbent state legislator out there, and somebody came up with one of these, with the ballot that they mail out from the Board of Elections, showing the candidates on the ballot. And said, well, who should I vote for? She said, vote for anybody with an I behind it. That's an incumbent. You vote for anybody with an I behind it. Well, this individual was out there pretending to support some people who did not have eyes behind it. But she told that individual, vote for anybody with an I behind their name. Just telling you, and that's what, they may pretend, these incumbents, they pretend to support newcomers. They really don't, because it's an old, it's that buddy system. Alex, that, they count those post one positions that he held too. So he was the post one commissioner for 2 terms, which is 8 years. He's been the chairman for 2 terms, which will be 18. That's 16 years. He serves one more term. That's 20 years. That's a retirement. 20. That's how he, because you got to remember, he hasn't been there just 8 years. This guy at the end of 24 will have served on that board of commission for 16 years. Let me tell you, if you can't get what you need to be done at that level in 8 years, you don't need to hold office. But Oz Nesbitt will have served at the end of this year, 23, 15 years. At the end of 24, it will be 16 years. And he's vying for 4 additional years to get a 20-year retirement from you and me. We will pay him forever if we elect him one more time. Just the reason not to elect him is to not pay that damn pension. Alex, they do. They count. I don't know what I'm gonna put. What Alex says right here. They count those years. They count those years. So I mean that's what we've got going on. And Cheryl, you're right. Let me put what Cheryl says. Reset Rockdale. Rockdale needs a reset, and we need a reset by eliminating, getting rid of, voting people out of office. It's what we need to do. Thanks for that, Cheryl. Reset Rockdale. But that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with somebody, who just wants one more term to get their pension. Trust me, this character will run for that office and hold that office as long as we allow him. He is never going to get another 6-figure salary anywhere, nowhere on this planet. So he is going to try to dig, scratch, do anything he can to keep that position. It's not just 4 more years. He'll try to run from the grave to get that 6-figure salary. That's what we're looking at. And that's why this individual doesn't want 5 commissioners with the end of the chairman position, because why? Because that means that we do away with that full-time position and that 6-figure salary, because that 6-figure salary can actually pay for that commission expansion. That's what we need. That's just what's going to happen. people, we need to do better. We need to behave better in Rockdale County. We need to demand better of ourselves because we can and we shall. It just means that you and I need to be accountable for our own actions and our own vote. Oh, what do we say? What do we do? So I did just want to come on here and talk about these couple of things because these were the most relevant things that I could think about talking about this week. And I knew it wasn't going to take long. We're on here about 25 minutes. Nice little show for Father's Day. I think I can get off of here and let each and every one of you get back to your Sunday evening and me not bother you anymore. But as things get heated up, more political things start happening in Rockdale County. These guys, they're not going to meet much this summer, so we'll have a lot less things going on. But as fall time approaches and we go into the election cycle, we're going to have a lot more to talk about on this show. So the show will be, at some point, we will be taking that hour. But when we don't need to take the hour, I'm not just going to sit here and just listen to myself talk and just find things to say to take up an hour. I think I've taken up enough of your time. I'm going to let each and every one of you go this evening. Thank you for tuning in. Spread the word, share and like the show so everybody else can know what's going on in this county and what's going on. So next week, hopefully I can find some information about the stuff I want to about Commissioner Washington, and we'll be able to share that with you, and it'll be just another one of those reasons to put that nail in that coffin to end Sherry Washington's political career. Thank you, everyone. Remember, it's up to you to make a difference in this community. We can reset Rockdale one vote at a time. Thank you and good night.